Hey, welcome back. We're going to work through another compound manometer problem in this video. So what we're looking for in the video is actually the pressure of the gas here in the chamber. We're given atmospheric pressure of 101 kilopascals, and basically that's pressing down into the open side into some water, H2O. The next fluid in our section here is oil with a specific gravity of 0.85. And then we've got mercury here. And then we've got the pressure of the gas pushing down on the mercury. So we've got a 3 centimeter difference column in the column fluid here of mercury. There's an 8 centimeter difference here between this surface and this surface in the oil. And from this surface to this surface in the water, there's a 10 centimeter height difference. So what we want to do is we just want to identify what is the pressure at point 1, being the contact surface here. We want to figure out what the pressure is here at point 2, or the surface between the water and the oil. Again, the pressure at point 3, which is the surface between the oil and the mercury. And the pressure at point 4, which is the surface between the mercury and the gas, which will give us the gas pressure. So to get started, let's make this a little bit smaller and put it in the corner so we have some space to write. And pressure 1, P1, is just going to be equal to P atmosphere, which is equal to 101 kilopascals or 101,000 pascals. Now P2 is just going to be this. P2 is equal to P1 plus or minus rho GH, rho being the density of that fluid, so it's going to be the density of water. G is acceleration due to gravity, and H is the height difference from the two surfaces that we're looking at. So in this case, it's going to be 10 centimeters. Now we need to determine if we're adding or subtracting, and basically the fastest way that we can think about this is as we go down into a column of fluid, the pressure increases. So the pressure at this point is going to be the same as the pressure at this point. It's because if you draw a reference datum here, we can even draw it on. We have a reference datum called 0. As we go up to some point, we'll call that y, a height of y, and as we come across, this is also at that same height of y. So the pressure at this point is going to be the same as the pressure at this point. And when we're looking at pressure 1, as we go down into the column of fluid, the pressure increases. So P2 has to be greater than P1. So we're going to be adding this term to P1. So P2 is just going to be equal to P1, which is 101,000 pascals, plus the density of water, which we're going to go ahead and use 1,000 kilograms per meter cubed. Times acceleration due to gravity, which is 9.81 meters per second squared, times the height in meters, which is 10 centimeters, so that is 0.1 meters. Okay, when that simplifies out, we're left with 101,000 from that same first term, plus the second term is just 981 pascals. So P2 is just equal to the sum of those, which is 101,981 pascals. Okay, let's do the exact same process for P3, the pressure at this surface. So P3 is just going to be equal P2 plus or minus rho GH, rho being the density of the oil in this case, because this is the fluid column that's connecting them. Now again, we can draw on a reference datum and come up to this point here. Let's call this y again. And then when we come up to the same height in that same column fluid, this is also y. So the pressure here at point 2 is going to be the same as the pressure here. And as you go deeper into that same column of fluid, the pressure increases. So that means that we increase from P3 to P2. So P2 has to be bigger, or P3 has to be smaller. So at this point in our equation, P3 has to be P2 minus something else, because P3 will be smaller than P2. So we can go ahead and start filling this out. We had P2, which was 101,981 pascals. We're going to subtract the density of oil, and the density, because the specific gravity is 0.85, the density would be 0.85 times the density of water. So in this case, it's going to be 850 kilograms per meters cubed times acceleration due to gravity times the height difference from P2 to P3, which is 8 centimeters. So we can just simplify this, and we're going to get 101,981 pascals minus 667 pascals. Not much of a change there, but basically we're just going to find that P3 is equal to 101,314 pascals, or about 101.3 kilopascals. Okay, we're going to go and do the exact same thing to figure out P4 now. So P4 is just equal to P3 plus or minus rho GH. Now again, if you're not sure if you should add or subtract, I recommend just drawing on a reference datum. I'll call it here. This is going to be our 0. As we go up, let's just pick a point here at P4. Let's call that Y. And if we draw the same height over here of Y, that means the pressure at this point here is going to be the same as the pressure at this point here because they're both a height of Y above our reference point of 0. So if this pressure here is the same as this pressure here, that means as we go up, the pressure is going to decrease. Or you can look at the P3 here, as you go deeper into this column, the pressure is going to increase. So P4 has a higher pressure than P3 because it's deeper into this column of fluid, which means that in this equation, if P4 is greater than P3, then we have to add something to it. So let's proceed with our equation then. So we have P3 is 101,314 pascals plus the density of mercury, and I'm going to go with 13,550 kilograms per meter cubed, times acceleration due to gravity, times the height difference. In this case, it was 3 centimeters. So that is 0.03 meters. We can just have this 101,314 pascals, and when we simplify that right-hand term, that all comes out to 3,988 pascals. And so then the sum of those two is just 105,302 pascals. So P4 is equal to P gas, which is our gas pressure, which is equal to 105.3 kilopascals.